The First World War was a cataclysm. It scarred Europe. It shook the foundations of society. From the ashes of this devastation, a new artistic movement arose, Dada. Born in Zurich, Switzerland in 1916, Dada was more than just an art movement. It was a reaction. It was a rebellion against the senseless violence and the societal norms that had led to the war. Dada artists rejected the logic and reason that had seemingly failed the world. They embraced chaos and absurdity. The world had lost its meaning, so too should art. This rejection of traditional values was a direct response to the trauma of war. Artists grappled with the horrors they had witnessed. Dada became an outlet for their frustration and disillusionment. It was a way to process the nonsensical nature of war. It was also a critique of the institutions that they believed had contributed to the conflict. Nationalism, militarism, and bourgeois values were all targets of Dada's scathing critique. At its core, Dada was anti-art. It challenged the very definition of art itself. Dadaists rejected the notion that art should be beautiful or meaningful. They believed in art's power to shock, to provoke, and to disrupt. Traditional notions of beauty and craftsmanship were cast aside in favor of the unconventional and the absurd. Collage became a signature technique of the Dada movement. Artists tore apart and reassembled images from newspapers, magazines, and other found materials. This technique reflected the fragmented nature of their world. It also allowed them to create new meanings from existing imagery. Dadaists also embraced the ready-made, an everyday object, isolated from its usual context and elevated to the status of art. Marcel Duchamp's A Urinal presented as a sculpture is perhaps the most famous example of this concept. The ready-made challenged traditional notions of artistic skill and creativity. It forced viewers to question their own assumptions about what constitutes art. Dada artists were pioneers of artistic innovation. They experimented with a wide range of techniques and materials. Their goal was not to create aesthetically pleasing objects, but to challenge the very definition of art and to provoke reactions from their audience. They tried to create fragmented and often nonsensical compositions that reflected the chaos of the modern world. Dada artists challenged traditional notions of artistic skill and authorship. Performance art, or happenings as they were sometimes called, also played a significant role in Dadaism. These performances were often spontaneous and unpredictable, incorporating elements of music, dance, poetry, and theatre. Key figures in the Dada movement. Marcel Duchamp stands as a towering figure in Dada. His ready-mades like and challenged the very notion of what art could be. Duchamp's influence on 20th century art is immeasurable. He paved the way for conceptual art and challenged the art world's obsession with traditional aesthetics. But Dada was not a one-man show. Artists like Francis Picabia, with his mechanically inspired paintings, and Man Ray, known for his experimental photography and object assemblages, expanded the boundaries of Dada. Höch, a pioneer of photomontage, used her art to critique societal norms, particularly those related to gender and identity. These artists, along with many others, formed a loose international network. They challenged the artistic establishment. They used their art to question, to provoke, and to dismantle the conventions of their time. Their influence continues to resonate in the art world today. Dada may have been relatively short-lived. However, its impact on art was profound. Dada's spirit of rebellion, its embrace of the absurd, and its willingness to challenge the status quo paved the way for numerous artistic movements. Surrealism, abstract expressionism, and pop art all owe a debt to Dada. Dada's influence extends beyond the visual arts. Its spirit can be seen in music, literature, and performance. The use of found sounds in music, the rise of the absurd in theatre, and the cut-up technique in literature all have roots in Dada's legacy. Today, Dada's spirit of questioning and challenging remains as relevant as ever. In a world facing complex challenges and rapid technological advancements, Dada reminds us of the power of art to critique, to disrupt, and to imagine new possibilities. It is a reminder that art can be a force for change, a way to challenge the status quo, and a voice for the unconventional.